Hey guys, what's up? It's Riley or CJ again, and I just bring you guys a nice quick little game, a failed, attempt at not really attempt at Moab, but I do start, on the rise to getting one, all pumped up, gonna get it, then I fail because you'll see why. Um, Before I get on to what I want to talk about, the little story I have for you guys, I do want to apologize for the first video that I did post up. I do believe I found the problem. When I went to go upload it, YouTube's like, "Hey, your video is a little shaky. Do you want us to fix that?" And I was sketchy at first, and I did click yes this time. If it tells me that, you damn well know I'm gonna be like, "No, YouTube, go away. I don't like you. Just put up my video." So basically, the story is how I came to pick my PSN name. And the story kind of goes back a couple of years. I'm in college right now. This story starts out at about the end of my freshman to the beginning of my senior year in high school. So basically, what happened was my parents were separated. They decided to get a divorce, and they're separated at this point. My dad ends up having a girlfriend who I like. She's really nice and everything. I have nothing against her. So during my senior year, I was getting, not my senior year, I'm sorry, my sophomore year, I was getting into a lot of arguments with my mother. I was living with her at the time. Constantly getting into arguments because of dealing with the divorce and everything. This was just fresh. So I ended up getting kicked out to live with my dad for a little while. Now, the problem with my living there is that my dad is basically never home. He's a truck driver, and he drives to Utah once like every week, and that takes him about 3 days or so. He usually leaves on Monday, comes back on Wednesday, that kind of deal, whatever. And the problem with that also is that whenever he was home, due to the stress of his work, he was always trying to find any excuse to really yell at me. At least that's what I felt like, kind of release his anger on me, so to speak. So he like I would have to tell him when I would go over to a friend's house and when exactly I would be back, and if I wasn't back within that specific time frame, I'd be getting an earful. So basically, and like I wasn't even allowed to talk to my mother very much. I'd go and call her. I did end up patching things up with her eventually over time, and it would just it's like I wouldn't even have to. I couldn't even talk to her. He'd always be curious on what I told her and everything. So basically, what I used to do is take the dog out. That was my dad's girlfriend's dog, whose name was Riley. That's where it came from. And basically, he was really my kind of, I want to say, lifeline. He really was there for, obviously all the time. Whenever I was stressing out over anything, I would just go to him. You'd probably take him on a walk or whatever. Just do anything, you know, go play with him, go grab a new toy, go buy him one or something. Basically, just a big, mental support during this whole thing. So eventually, I did move back. I ended up getting kicked out only about twice, but I ended up moving back every time to my mother's house. So now this is the story rewinds to about last December time. And basically, now he's really old and frail and has really, really bad arthritis. And I remember I took him to my dad's truck yard where he ends up always parking his truck. And he brought the pickup, and Riley was in the back. We brought a ball, and I grabbed it, and he jumped right out of the back. I threw the ball, and I just remember the specific description, the specific moment. I threw the ball, and the sun was actually shining in my eyes, so I didn't see what actually happened. But I just hear a big cry, a big whine from him. And when I look down, he's on the ground, barely able to move. I had to help him to walk all the way back to the truck, and this is where I was basically supporting him. He was basically walking on his front legs with me holding his back legs up. He couldn't really even move them. So, we're like, okay, well, let's just see what happens. Maybe he'll be able to get it off, if we help him exercise and everything. And he did not move or anything. And I just felt so bad because I felt responsible. And I do feel responsible. Everybody tells me I'm not. However, I always, I'm the kind of person that when I believe in something, I believe in it. So we ended up taking him to the vet, which was completely pointless, and it really kind of ticked me off. The doctor basically told us that, hey, he has arthritis, and I really wanted to jump up in the middle of that appointment because he was examining him in the middle of that. I basically wanted to jump up, scream at him, and tell me what's truly wrong with my dog, because we've known this, that he's had arthritis for a long time. We're not stupid. We can obviously realize he's had a hard time walking. So basically, he gave him pills to, maybe numb the pain so that way he could walk again. And if nothing worked, we had to put him down. Now, we did that for about 3 days, and Riley basically shut down. We would go bring him food, he wouldn't eat. We bring him water, he wouldn't eat. We tried to go help him to go bring him outside to help him go to the bathroom. Nothing helped. He just shut down. So knowing that I was going to that he was going to be let down, I decided to make a PSN name in remembrance of him and how much he's actually done for me. On December the 6th, 2011, I will always remember that date. And we ended up having to put him down on the following day, December 7th, 2011. So, alright, thanks guys. Tell me if this video is better and everything. So,